All right, guys, welcome to the podcast for the Real Estate Jock, aka DJ Santiago. I've got my guest here, Marcos, out of Denver, Colorado?
Denver, Colorado.
Denver, Colorado.
How you doing, DJ?
Good, man. Good. Thanks for coming on the show today. I appreciate it.
Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure. Anything to get on your same team and learn more about what you're doing over there in Cleveland.
Yeah, man. So I know you and I have met because we're a part of a real estate investment group, and I wanted to have you on the show. You and I have talked. You're very well seasoned in this particular crazy space of real estate investing. So before we get into some specific questions as far as what you're doing currently and all that, tell us a little bit about your past, kind of how you got into real estate, what motivated you to get into real estate, and your journey to kind of get here.
All right, sounds good. I'm born and raised in Denver, Colorado. Always was on the honor roll type of thing. Swore that I was going to college to be an engineer. Started that whole process. Very educated. I'm actually still a senior. I haven't got my undergraduate yet, but I say yet because I still might go back and get it. Why not?
Okay.
But I was going to be an engineer until 1999. I went to my first business seminar. Was invited by one of my banker buddies. I used to be a banker at U.S. Bank, and I started learning about entrepreneurship. That's when the light bulb went off. I started doing a lot of personal development, a lot of reading, a lot of seminars, and realized that I need to see the power of associations. So I opened up an online company, part of the whole network marketing model.
Okay.
And that's kind of really where my journey began. I actually did 2 or 3 companies prior to finding real estate. So what led me to real estate was in 2013. I was thinking I wanted to open a restaurant.
Okay.
I'm a people person.
Yeah.
I love the hospitality industry. I love food. I'm probably the biggest foodie you've ever met. So I just wasn't real big on doing my own business plan. So good old Facebook, I posted who's the master at a business plan. And one of the original guys that I was in the network marketing business with in 1999, also an engineer, he seen my post. He was living in Canada for 10 years, and he said, "Hey, we need to talk." That's all he said. So I showed up at his house, and this was the first night I ever heard of real estate investing. He had already went to a 2-year academy, so he already had the education, the knowledge, the intellect, but was still a full-time engineer, and he needed somebody with time. When you leverage that quadrant that we all know of, money, time, knowledge, and credit, he asked me which one I had, and I had a bunch of time at that particular moment. So we partnered up, and I started learning and growing, and of course I started with wholesaling in other markets because Denver wasn't the best at that time.
Yeah, lots changed. Yeah, lots changed. So that's a good place to kind of break off. So wholesaling. For anybody who doesn't really know what wholesaling is, the concept behind it, and we've all had the 2:30 a.m. in the morning infomercial come across the screen about buying properties with no money down, et cetera, et cetera. And so, I know when I mentioned the term wholesaling to somebody who's not in real estate investing, I kind of get, even when I talk to real estate agents, I get kind of this weird look. So
Yep.
Can you get into your definition of wholesaling and kind of how that strategy works from your perspective and what you're trying to accomplish on every deal, and also why did you pick that strategy of all the different strategies available to you?
Yeah. Well, there's the whole evolution process of a real estate investor, and usually someone starts with wholesaling, or maybe fix and flip, just because those are usually the beginner stages. But man, what an industry! I really didn't know anything about it previously. I remember when my original mentor talked about wholesaling. This is what I used to share with people that had no clue what it was. You buy properties at a discount, and you sell them to another investor at a discount. And of course, there's a little profit margin in there. But what an industry all over the nation. There's the hot markets. DJ is very familiar. I chose Cleveland as one of the first markets that we launched a marketing campaign in. But the other big thing of wholesaling is really we didn't look for real estate. We looked for problems. I don't do anything in business unless I'm really providing a solution. And I know a lot of people in the industry, do millions of dollars a year in revenue by solving people's problems. So I'm passionate about that. And, people have done numerous transactions with wholesaling. They get the property under contract, of course, at a little bit of discount. You want to provide that solution for these people with problems: divorce, job loss, relocation, probate. The list goes on and on and on. And then you come in as the buyer or the wholesaler. You get the property under contract, and you hopefully already have a network built up where you can wholesale the contract, sell the contract to another investor. Truly, no money down. You don't need to run your credit. You don't need to show up to the title closing. So it really can be virtual. The only thing I think that does cost a little bit, depending on your strategy, is the marketing. You got to get your phone ringing. You got to get the people to see you. But man, it was exciting. The team that I was with, I owe everything to them. They taught me so much. And I just have a passion for people and providing solutions and definitely being real with them.
Yeah. So, there's a lot of debate out there about wholesaling. And are you marketing the contract? Are you lawfully allowed to market a property that you physically have not closed on? Some people that are out there talking about wholesaling will actually say true wholesaling is closing on the first property with some sort of funding and then actually turning around, even if you're selling it the same day or next couple days, selling that to another investor. What is your position on that? There's just so much debate about legalities. I've had realtors tell me what you're doing and what you're talking about doing is completely legal. You can do this. You can become a felon, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So being that you're, wholesaling properties in your market and outside of your market, what's your position on that?
Yeah, it's a great question. I've heard that, terminology since the beginning. So, of course, I went to the source. I have somebody in my network here out of Denver, Colorado, who is a real estate attorney. He also is an investor, and he owns his own title company. So when I started hearing those different things, I just, tried to leverage the great people that were in my circle to make sure I wasn't breaking the law and, looking at prison time for something that was so exciting and that everybody was doing. Mm-hmm. So I found out quickly in Denver there was nothing wrong with it. Things have changed a little bit to this date, but I did the same thing for my other markets also, because I heard it in Cleveland, I heard it in Memphis. So I right away went to my boots on the ground, the people that I had in the area, to just reach out to, the professionals, the real estate attorneys, and the people that have already heard that, question brought up, because, it's definitely good information to share. I can say these days here in Denver, Colorado, when I do help one of my partners or one of my teammates with the wholesale, you do have to put wholesaling in the contract for sale. You almost have to put that in your marketing, but I'm not sure if it's the same in some of the other cities like that now.
Okay. So let's get into a little bit more of the mechanics, and then we'll finish up with the strategy that you picked. So, talk to me a little bit about some of what you found have been key marketing mechanics that you're using, key mechanics in regards to the process. So if you've got a person that wants to do business with you, who's dealing with one of these problems that you're talking about, and now they want to enter into a contract with you. What's that process look like? So walk me through your marketing, walk me through your engagement with that potential seller or seller that you're going to lock up under contract, and then what do you actually do on the back end
All right.
for your investor?
Yeah, it's an awesome story. I love to share this piece. Hopefully, it'll benefit you, benefit everybody else, and I definitely got to congratulate you. I think you're doing amazing on these steps that you're doing with social media, with digital marketing. I'm sure you got some of the old school techniques as well. So got to give you a round of applause for that. I see a lot of the stuff that you're doing. So I didn't start like some of the new people that are discovering the new ways. I started the old ways, which worked. It works. Just the ROI is a little bit different. But we listened to a lot of the gurus and a lot of the academies, and it stepped right into direct mail. You got to get your phone ringing, and you got to do a lot of direct mail to find the needle in the haystack. So we started at about $3,000 to $5,000 per month in direct mail, which is kind of what is taught in the industry. And I was actually the first one. We didn't really have a huge team yet, so I was the one that was taking all the phone calls. I remember at one point I was getting over 100 calls a day.
Nice.
But not necessarily the right calls. They were kind of the wrong zip codes, the wrong marketing. So we learned, of course, that's, of course, what you do with little stepping stones and failures. You learn, you grow. The phones were ringing. We were sending out a lot of LOIs out. We were getting a lot of contracts, but wasn't seeing a lot of results right away with finding a buyer that was interested. So about 6 months into my beginnings there, I brought on one of my partners to join the team. And he took over the seller side, and I decided to do what a lot of other gurus teach, and that is to go find the buyers first. So I went and found some buyers, and our next marketing campaign was directed towards what the buyer specifically wanted. So our phone wasn't ringing as much, but when we would get a deal, it would be what the buyer was looking for. So I remember kind of breaking records on how fast we get a deal under contract and how fast the buyer would sign the assignable contract. Mm-hmm. So then it went there, but of course the direct mail stood consistent, all with your landing pages. But then we went big on social media. You get your little company Facebook page, the Craigslist, ads, Facebook Live, YouTube, all that good stuff we started learning about. And we weren't getting as many calls, but we're starting to make, more money. Marketing is key, but I'm sure you've heard many times, and I know you're really good at it. Marketing does one thing, but you have to convert. You have to get the seller, the buyer, whatever it may be, to convert with you, and that's where I speak about the good conversations, adult conversations, just being yourself and being real and not wasting time along with that, because I do know a lot of times you chase and chase and chase and nothing happens. But, if you're yourself and you're real and have those adult conversations, you'll see more success.
Cool, man. Cool. So of all the available, strategies out there, fix and flip, lease option, buy and hold, et cetera, why did you choose wholesaling of all things? I know you've kind of evolved from there, but as you said, you could have started out with a hammer in your hand and rehab in places like everybody sees on HGTV. So why pick this crazy market where basically you're flipping paper as quickly as possible?
Well, it starts with the question of your minimum deal standards. So do you want cash or do you want cash flow? At that time, we wanted cash to build up our own little capital. So when the time came, we could put that capital somewhere to build up our cash flow. So wholesaling is a good way to make immediate money with not a lot of upfront costs. So that's why we chose that. And of course, I owe it to, the team, because, I definitely always have this shiny object syndrome. I want to do a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
But I sure did get addicted to wholesaling. It's fun. It's very active, and you truly are serving others.
Sure. So if we got any newbies watching this video, or somebody at their job that's like, hey man, I'm tired of this racket 9 to 5. I want to do something on the side, or I want to do something that maybe can replace my income right now. What are some of those first few steps? Because, what I've noticed out there in the market is there's a lot of people who are either gurus who aren't really doing the business. They're just running a coaching business. And there's really no background as to really what they've done. They just really got good at selling a coaching program. Or, you know what I mean? Or you've got guys out there that are, active investors. They say, hey, dude, I can teach you everything for this amount of money. And then you give them a boatload of money and you never hear from them, or they give you to somebody else in their team, and they become partners on your deals and all this other stuff. So, what are some of the first few things if you've got limited income, or limited dollars to invest, and you just want to get the hustle going? You understand the grind. You're willing to pick up the phone. You're willing to meet people. Things that aren't necessarily going to cost you hard cash right now. What are some of the first few steps you would suggest doing?
That's awesome. I was very fortunate to miss a lot of that guru seminar stuff, thanks to my business partner that had already went through the 2-year academy. So I really didn't know that some of that stuff existed. Mm-hmm. I do now, but I think because I'm a people person and this is a people business, if somebody has to be hungry, most people are just not quite fit to be an entrepreneur. So this is for the hungry people, for one. You have to have that burning desire that Napoleon Hill talks about inside your heart and inside your soul to really make a difference and have an impact. The favorite thing that I say lately is relationships is the new currency. I wouldn't have done anything I was able to do if I didn't have a team and the right team. So there's so many ways to leverage in this business without having no money. If you just have that hunger and that passion, you could immediately start going to some of the, not the guru seminars, but the RIA meetings. For the first 6 months, I was almost at a RIA meeting once or twice a week, but not just any old meeting. That's actually the main reason I'm part of the private real estate membership club that I'm part of now. Just amazing people that actually are humble and care about leveraging each other and working together. So if someone wants to get started, why not go find people that are, maybe looking for a partner, looking for a little team, because you can't do it alone. Wealth is a team sport. So meet a couple people, network with a couple great people, and man, just hit the ground running in so many different ways. Lease options and wholesaling, there's really ways to make money immediately without a lot of upfront costs. So do what it takes to, get out there and meet the right people, and things will start happening. The things that you thought were not possible, all of a sudden you'll meet the right person, or you'll be at the right meeting, or like me on the phone with you. I'm grateful to be talking with you, DJ. I mean, I have nothing but respect for you, and I follow you, and I see what you've done throughout your life. So I know that there's a lot of good potential and success ahead of you in this business.
Cool, man. I appreciate the kind words. So I know that right now, as we're wrapping up the call here, that you're involved in some pretty big things, some of which you can't really talk about for confidentiality reasons. But if you could just be creative in how you can let us know kind of what you're doing. And also if anybody wants to reach out to you, how they could, connect with you and vibe with you on some real estate stuff.
Yeah, it's very exciting, DJ. I'm so grateful. I'm so blessed. And it's because of the people that I've surrounded myself with. None of this was my idea, but it was definitely my purpose. And you said something there. I was going to tell you, not yet. I want to share. I want to speak. and open my mouth like crazy, but it's just not yet. It's
Okay.
very exclusive. It's very exclusive. It's a private real estate membership club, but the whole passion behind it is truly making an impact and sharing the wealth, not being like what everyone else is doing, but truly serving other people that are hungry.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Well, we enjoyed having you on the show. I enjoy you. I enjoyed everything that you shared, and just a wealth of wisdom, experience, and we definitely got to have you back on when you're ready to talk about some of the stuff that you're working on. I want to definitely be one of the first few people to hear about it and spread it, and be able to just hear more about it. It sounds like it's something that's really, really cool and exciting, and just another great chapter in your story, man. So I appreciate you being on the show. We'll definitely have to have you on again. Any last words?
Last words. I don't want to sound this way, but hey, call me anytime. My number, I answer my own phone.
Okay.
720-490-8099. Me and DJ are here to, help anybody that's hungry. We want to, serve and share the wealth and truly make an impact in Cleveland, in Denver, wherever else you may be. Call DJ. Nothing but respect for you, and I thank you very much for including me on this interview, DJ.
Cool, man. Well, the Real Estate Jock is signing off, a.k.a. DJ Santiago. What a great time we have with Marcus today, and we'll be in touch. We'll have you back on.